and I wasn't nice to him for the simple reason that, and it makes no sense now, but I really didn't know anything about him. So I have been really going over in my head that I want to apologize because I want to right the wrong. And all this week, we've talked to several different people. On Tuesday, we heard from Brando's son, who told us what bullying means to him. And he's in, what, third grade? Fourth grade? Aaron?
Fourth grade.
Are you sure about
You don't know that either?
You caught me off guard for a second. I'm like, wait a second, what grade is he?
If you're just joining us yesterday, Brando didn't even know his kids' birthdays.
Or his anniversary.
Come on, I got 4 of them. Give me a break.
So I have been going through a struggle with what's the right way to do it, because I don't want to hash up things for him that are uncomfortable, but I also want to apologize for the way that I acted when I was younger. So we reached out to Ryan Thomas Neese, who is a clinical psychologist who's going to explain, hopefully, the way that I should do this.
I think you, at the outset, you've got to try to frame for yourself what it is you're hoping to get out of it. Because, I mean, obviously, the first and foremost for you is the alleviation of your guilt, which it may or may not produce. So do you have a good sense of that? Like, what is your desired outcome?
Honestly, I just want to be able to apologize and say I'm sorry. I think that's going to be the toughest part for me.
Yeah.
And I would love to hear from him that it's okay, that maybe I didn't have a big effect on him, because that's kind of where I get worried is I don't want to be the guy where my name is getting crossed off a list with lipstick.
Yeah, you remember that's the first thing I thought of, the Steve Buscemi and Billy Madison.
Billy Madison.
So if your goal is to apologize, I think you're on solid footing. If your goal is to alleviate your guilt, you may be on less solid footing, because as you're kind of articulating, he may or may not really have strong recollection of this. And even if, let's say that he does, he may or may not necessarily be willing to forgive you. You know, what was this, high school, grade school?
Middle school and high school. But
Middle
I'm not
school,
looking
yeah.
for him to be like, hey, let's go out to dinner and have beers. I simply just want to be like, hey, look, I know I was a jerk to you. Whether he processes it that way or not, it made me feel like I was being a jerk to somebody and it was unwarranted.
It's knowing that you have a variable on the other end that you can't really control. Again, if you can be okay with it, just saying, I'm sorry, regardless of what the response is, then I think you're on solid footing.
Okay.
What about, not a phone call? What about, email or, like, if you could message him find him on Facebook? Because that gives him an opportunity to, not have to respond right when you know what I mean? He can take a day or two and think about it.
Carrier pigeon?
I had some stuff going on, too, and I might have bullied a person or two, and I may have actually done this exact thing that we're talking about.
So how did that end up for you, being a clinical guy?
Here's the thing. 2 of the times I reached out to these people on Facebook after they had friended me, which gave me an indication, hey, maybe it wasn't as big a deal to them as it was to me now in hindsight.
Or maybe it was, I'm going to keep my enemies closer.
Yeah, they're going to find
right.
you.
Yes, exactly. One of them responded and said, hey, man, it's no big deal. We all did kind of dumb stuff in high school. The other one never responded at all. Mm-hmm. And then there was a third one who actually approached me at a class reunion. I had actually friended him on Facebook a number of times, and very innocently I came up to him, and I didn't even this kid wouldn't have been on my list. He came up to me at the class reunion, and I said, hey, man, you never accepted my friend request. I totally stumbled into it, wasn't thinking, and he goes, yeah, man, you were a total jerk to me in high school.
I hate your face. I don't want to ever see you
Pretty
again.
much, yeah. And this was 15 years later. So I said, I'm really sorry. To be honest with you, I had a lot of my own stuff going on in high school. But if I hurt you, I'm really sorry. And he was basically like, yeah, good for you, screw you, and walked away and never talked to me since. And
are you prepared for that?
I honestly think that I should go see a therapist every single week.
I can recommend a good one.
I'm sure you can.
Yeah.
So I should reach out to Jason first through Facebook or email or something like that. I like Facebook because it's kind of
faster.
Well, it gives me a read receipt, so I know when I actually saw the message.
Yeah.
Because that's my worry about email is email, it could just go to spam, it could get deleted,
Yeah,
they never
you
read
never
it.
know.
So at least I see that. So I'll reach out that way. Then if he says, yes, you can call me, I'll call him and apologize. If he says, I'm uncomfortable with that, I'll just apologize in email form.
I like it.
And then I'll go drink massive amounts of Jack Daniels and call it a day.
That's not an answer for anything. So,
All
and
right.
let's not ask for specific examples.
So I think Ryan Thomas Neese has given us some great stuff to go on into this phone call that I'm hopefully going to have with this kid that I bullied in middle school and high school. And then we can get some closure to it. I keep saying I'll get some closure to it, and then I'll be able to
Hey,
move
I'm on board for this one now. I want to see what happens.
Right, you want to see me
Yeah,
crash and
me
burn.
too.
Not
I
at
know.
all.
I wanna
don't
see you
want
squirm.
to.
Ryan, thank you very much for spending a couple minutes with us, buddy.
You're so welcome. Thanks for having me.
This is Spencer's Neighborhood on 106.5 The Ox.
So